Welcome back to the Marine Corps Movie Minute, where we discuss the movie Heartbreak Ridge 1 minute at a time. I am Brian Lockhart,
And I'm Jack Perry.
and we are breaking down Heartbreak Ridge, and we have reached minute 38. This minute begins with Gunny telling a Marine to take his post, and it ends with him asking a Marine his name. So, I had a question for you, Perry.
Yeah, hit me.
The guy that we saw him last minute, he tells Gunny that the platoon is ready for PT.
Hmm. Yeah, what would typically be the guide or what have you.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask you, is what would you call him? Is he the squad leader? Is he the guide? He's not really a squad leader because he's kinda in
I don't
charge.
I don't know because the only time you ever see like something like that is somebody like with a rank or a position, and so I mean I assume that he would probably be he would probably be an NCO,
I would have to say he's a
sergeant.
sergeant. Yeah,
Yeah,
sergeant.
but you never see him again. So
No.
like I don't know. Maybe he's the most squared away one of the group, but then even then he's wearing a civilian shirt. Like you should know better.
I mean, think I said last minute that he's probably a real life Marine.
Yeah, and, I think our theory was correct at one of the Marines that we saw earlier because I think I saw him, a little when I got a little closer view, the one with the blonde dude with the flowery shirt,
Yeah,
the Hawaiian shirt. Yeah, he's pretty much where we thought he was, so
and
yeah, go ahead.
sorry, and the other guy that was standing back there, the brunette,
Mm,
he's just on the backside of Stitch Jones. He's between Stitch Jones and Aponte.
yep, there he is.
So,
Okay.
yeah, the play and then if you notice too, I think it's not this minute, it's next minute, and I'll make a comment on this, like, you could tell who's the actors and who's all the background guys just based
Yeah.
on how they're treated in the filming of this. We
Yeah.
already know they use these guys for, extras that they were real Marines. That guy looks like the I guess we'll call him the squad leader or as you call him, the guide, actually, I think he's a guide.
Yeah.
I would imagine well, first off, I think he looks like a shrunken Kurt Angle, the WWE.
Yeah, with hair.
Yeah, but he totally looks the part of a Marine that's maybe been in just a little bit of time.
Yeah, he's a little seasoned.
Yeah, because if you look at all the other guys that are not are actors that get named,
Right.
they look the part. I mean, some of them their hair is a little bit longer, but it is the '80s. It is a movie. They
Yeah.
may have the regs may have been a little different. They may have let them grow it out a little for the movie. I don't know, but you can still tell the difference between how they carry themselves and dress and stand at attention versus the
The
actors who
actors,
are
yeah.
lollygagging online, smoking
Yeah,
and joking, if you will.
yeah. Yeah. Can you imagine say your officer in charge, your OIC or your staff NC OIC pops in one day, like maybe like on a Friday afternoon. He's like, "Hey, gentlemen, I need a working party." And you're like, "Fuck, man." And nobody raises their hands. They're like, "Oh, well, I guess nobody wants to be in a movie." Just
Yeah, right. Nobody
you're
wants
like,
to hang out with
"Oh,
Clint Eastwood.
yeah, fuck." That'll learn you.
It's funny that these guys are Marines, and then Gunny just says, "The Marines are looking for a few good men. Unfortunately, you ain't it."
Yeah.
It's funny because that's not funny, but I just say that
Every
shit
time
all
you
the
do it
time.
is every time you do that, it is funny.
I never noticed, if I never paid attention, let's just say, to Gunny's will blaze a path in battle for others to follow. And then he says, surrender is not in our creed. And I always just focused on the surrender is not on our, yeah, surrender is not in our creed. I never paid much attention to the beginning part of it.
Oh, that was it?
Yeah, that was it.
Oh.
There's nothing fucking groundbreaking
No. Oh, I was waiting for more. I was like, "Yeah, I never," but and then, because you do all this research and then, "Oh, yeah, and I found out that that was a blah, 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 blah."
no, it was literally me just not paying
Oh.
attention.
Okay. Well, alright then.
Speaking of not paying attention, though, is while Gunny's talking to these guys, your buddy towel guy comes walking
Mhm.
behind him. We see him twice.
Yeah. Yeah, the true hero of this movie.
Right. As we talked about it before, we never really paid much attention to him in the past, and here he is. He's you see him a couple times. He's just kind of walking up with his towel around his waist, his shower shoes, and his shower bag, and I
Yeah,
think he's got his dog tags on and just
just
walks right
going
into
to
frame. Yeah.
yeah, just going to go wash his ass.
Or
Uh,
just coming from it, who knows?
yeah.
Now
Well,
go ahead.
oh no, I wonder if this was all done in one take, or if they had the same guy walk through multiple times in his little flip flops.
Or maybe they had every Marine in the platoon come out one at a time, and he
Yeah,
just happened to be the one for the take that they used.
yeah. We need a guy in the background in a towel.
Or maybe he was just like, maybe they were all there and like, "Shit, we can't walk out now, they're filming," and he's like, "Fuck it, I'm going, I got shit to
Yeah,
do."
yeah, and then he gets trapped in and like, "All right, next take," and then like, "Nope, you gotta do it again because for consistency."
Yeah, then you walk by, that, "Hey, I love that little bit of business you just did back there, do it again." "What? I was just going to change."
Yeah.
Well, we did speculate before, like, is that a guy just coming out? Because we said we filmed in the real barracks, but
Right.
I'm guessing this was all it was just a little bit of business by the filmmakers to show, "Hey, look, there's still other Marines on this base doing shit."
Stuff, yeah.
Yeah, they live here, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, Gunny makes them say, "Surrender's not in our creed," and they just, "Surrender's not in our creed." Louder.
Yeah.
I like when they say it louder, and Stitch is like, he kinda gets into it like Annoyed gets into it, like, he pumps his hand, you know what I mean? He's like, "Surrender's not a creed," like, "Yeah, fuck, I'm saying it, okay?"
Yeah.
Like, they all seem like they're just, like, not thrilled to be there.
No. Uh, this is awesome. This is also completely not like the Marine Corps that we know.
When you're in the fleet, there is a little bit of,
A
if you're in a
little
f
bit.
if you're in a formation like that, like, there's a couple, or, like, if you notice some of the actual Marines in the background, they're not, like, annoyed that they're there. And I guess they are at attention, but even one of the guys kinda cocking his leg out, he's not at full attention, you know what I mean? He's just
Yeah,
standing on line.
right.
'Cause, I mean, you're not, like, locked and, it's not boot camp basically.
No.
But they are in formation, and they are supposed to be kind of in doing whatever, but these are but yeah, the actors who are the shitbirds of recon, they're they're smoking and joking, and they're just relaxed, diddy bopping, all that shit, the good shit.
Yeah. Yeah, you see them as they move. You can tell which ones are the real Marines, and which ones are the actors because they don't move around as much in formation. Like, you're kinda conditioned not to do that.
Yeah. Even if you're more, I guess you would say, at ease or just kind of relaxed or whatever,
Mhm.
it's not, you're still kinda,
Not as animated.
yeah, yeah. Um, when he says surrender is not in our creed and tells them to say it louder, he does mention that the next do it louder, or the next time they're on R&R, they'll be collecting their pensions.
Yeah.
We didn't really call R&R when we were in.
No, it wasn't. Liberty.
Yeah, Liberty. That's what I was gonna ask you, because I was like, when my dad was a Vietnam era Army guy, so, I swear I've heard him use R&R before,
Yeah,
and I know what it means, rest and relaxation, or rest
right.
and recuperation, whatever you wanna, rest and recreation, or
Yeah.
whatever. It's,
Reading and arithmetic.
right, exactly. Um, we didn't really call it that. You're right, Liberty's the main thing that we called it. You're going on
Yeah.
Liberty. Of
Or
course,
leave.
you leave, exactly, leave. Or if when you got like a 96, I guess like a libo, like a 96 to
Yeah,
72, they just called it. You get 96 hours away from base, go for it.
right.
Usually for holidays and stuff like that.
Yeah, and that was another thing too, is like if you got libo, it was unscheduled. If you got an extra day off, it was whatever that was plus the weekend. So, like, say if it was a 4-day weekend, it was a 96, or, like, say you're just off for that Monday, so you had Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday.
72,
So
yeah.
yeah. So basically, like, the amount of time you were not obligated to be at work.
I mean, I recall there being few opportunities where we did like maybe some exercises, and you worked the weekend, so you didn't get any time off.
Right.
You definitely don't get overtime. So there was a time or two we had a gunny say, "Hey, look, everybody gets an extra day of libo basically,
Right.
and I'll let you take it whenever. Just check with me." Because I remember Big Jim, myself, and I think our buddy DeVecus, I think it was the 3 of us. We asked our Gunny for, a libo, and he said, "Yeah," and we went and saw WWE in, Winston-Salem or something
Oh,
like that.
yeah.
It was
Yeah.
either, it was WWF, but we went and saw a pay-per-view, actually. We went to a Sunday night pay-per-view, and we just didn't wanna come back to work the next day on a Monday, so he was like, "Yeah, that's fine." He goes, "You did the exercise, you didn't get weekends off for a couple weeks," so and we were doing 12-hour shifts too at the time, so he
Yep,
was like
12 on, 12 off. Ugh.
yep, and I was doing the mid shift, so he was like, "Yeah, yeah, go ahead." And, you know what's funny about that is when I went up I forget exactly what the situation was, but I was doing we were in charge of our little area, and we actually had live ammo at this one,
Oh, really?
and yeah, it was at the end of the flight line, and we were just
Oh, that one.
yeah, so we were doing, like, secure we were in charge of security as well as, our equipment and all that because
Yep.
it is what it was,
Right.
and I think I had to let the telephone guy in to actually run some wire.
Yep.
And Gunny, for whatever reason, questioned why I did it or if I didn't check them right or something. There was something. Something that he questioned that I did. Doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
The guy was legit. He was supposed to be there, but whatever. Gunny questioned me. And he he was a little hot and kind of laid into me for half a second. And
Yeah.
whatever. It is what it was. It wasn't, I didn't do anything wrong and he really wasn't all that bad. He laid into me, but it was what it was, and that was the
Mm.
end of it because that's how
Yep.
our Gunny was pretty cool.
Yep.
Anyways, so it is I mean, that was like maybe a couple days later is when I went up to him and was like, "Hey, Gunny, can the 3 of us get our time off?" And he goes, "Hey, you were on the exercise, right?" I'm like,
Yeah, he
"Well, yeah,
was
you
mad
chewed my
about that.
ass out."
Yeah.
I said, "I sure was, Gunny." He goes, "Okay, then you can have it, granted."
Yeah. Right, right, right,
I said,
right,
"Okay,
right.
all right, thanks, Gunny, appreciate it." I'm like, you chew my ass and remember it, all right.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I know I remember bits and pieces of some of that stuff because yeah, I mean, uh he could be challenging sometimes, but I really liked him, man. I liked working for him. He was a good dude. Once you got to know him a little bit.
That's what it was. Well, you know what it was is, did you know him in Pensacola when he was an
Y
instructor?
Yes, I did, as a matter of fact. He's the one. So, I was the only 2651 that was in charge of a squad. He was the one that put me in charge of them for whatever reason. All the other ones were those, O2s, the Dodettes, the Morse codes.
Yeah, it was the 31s and the
Oh, yeah.
21s.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they were in longer usually because they went to
Mhm.
Fort Huachuca first,
Mhm.
and they had so much time, and then they also were on usually in Pensacola, they took so much longer to, what do you call it, pick up into their class, so they were a lot
Yeah.
of times, they put them in charge of the working parties and like you said, the squads and
Yep.
all that good stuff.
Yeah, I was one of the only 2651s that was ever in charge of a squad there in Pensacola.
Oh, well, look at you getting some
I know, man.
responsibility.
That was a good boy.
So he I feel our Gunny, when he first got there, didn't know how to treat us like regular Marines who have been in a while.
Right.
Because, by the time he got there, it was like our last year or so. So, we were
Yeah.
basically on our way out for
Yeah.
us. It was towards the end is what I remember. It was the last
Yeah.
year or so, and we'd already been in for a little bit, and we were also because, I did 5 years, so I had actually had that extra bit of time too,
Yeah.
and, and I was ready to get out by that point, one of those things counting the days down. So
Mhm.
you wanna be treated a certain way as
Yeah,
is,
you've earned it.
right, just as a little respect, but I remember when he first kinda got there, it was one of those, like, you're still he treated you like a boot ass person at your A school, and
Right.
I think it just took him a little bit of time to realize
We knew what we were doing.
yeah, yeah, exactly, and he became it was actually some of his stuff that bothered us at first, it was more like his quirks, and once you learned his quirks, you were like,
Yeah.
"This guy's a good guy,"
Yeah,
like,
he's
we
not a
really
bad dude at all.
a and that like you said, like, getting yelled at, alright, nobody wants to get yelled at, nobody wants to be questioned what they just did, even, because it's like, maybe it was the right thing or maybe you think it wasn't the right thing or whatever.
Right.
But then when you realize that he has no memory of it. It's just the way he did it, like, it's just his it's like, "Oh, he doesn't mean anything by it," and
Like
you're
a
like, "Alright,
goldfish.
right."
Yeah.
And the thing is and you realize, it's I'm fine with tough but fair, and when you realize he was tough but fair,
Yeah.
who cares? That's great, and
Yeah.
sometimes it is good to be held to a certain standard, and other times you have to learn how to deal with individuals who maybe you're like, "That's you just said that in a way I never would have even thought." Like,
Yeah.
I don't think that way, but, we're coming at this from 2 totally different places, but we actually both want the same thing. So it's just funny.
Right.
We ended up all really liking him after a little bit of time, and
Yeah.
he's a good guy.
Yeah, he's
Um,
great, dude. He was a good guy to work for. Our little, office meetings over at the Roadhouse.
oh yeah.
Yeah,
See,
yeah,
that's the thing. We had some good stuff that they tried to do for us from time to time, and
yeah.
other times there was fuck games, but
Yeah.
but for the
Yeah,
most part, it was you know
and I know he went to war for us a few times, keep us out of trouble for, whatever nonce yeah, I mean, he was probably a well-deserved ass eating, but he still went to war for us.
yeah. So yeah, that was liberty. I mean, that was the genesis of this whole conversation was what do we call it, R&R. I actually did notice. Sorry, I'm going to get back to that. Like
Yeah,
currently, they still use R&R, but R&R is just interchangeable with leave.
yeah.
Chargeable leave, and it's except for they said except for like Afghanistan, Iraq, they'll give them. This is what I read. They'll give them I guess maybe 15 days after so many days on, boots on the ground, and it's
Mhm.
not chargeable, and travel doesn't count. But I was like, that's some bullshit. You could be you could be sent anywhere, you know, like and then they're still going to charge you leave.
Yeah.
It's like I've been had a day off in forever, and you're not going to like just grant me some time. You're still going to
Yeah.
fucking take from my limited amount of time, and
Yeah.
and you don't get weekends off when you're on leave. You have to use that leave on a
Yeah, it
weekend day
counts.
you normally wouldn't work. It's bull. Sucks.
Yeah.
So
Unless you got little Wiley with the, check-in, or you knew somebody that could sign you back in.
yeah, yeah. I'm sure. Trust me, I'm sure it happens and all that, but
Yeah.
it's a little harder sometimes. It's like, wait a minute, you were on leave, you came back, you checked out, and then you got back on leave again, and you were in New York the whole time. Don't pay attention to that. It's fine. I was trying to pay attention as they're going through the platoon, and I noticed one of the guys has an Iron Maiden T-shirt on.
Right on.
Not too many of the T-shirts were really anything to write home about. A lot of loose tank tops, some,
Yeah.
but other than that, the Iron Maiden one's the only one that really stood out.
Yeah, where was the Maiden shirt at?
I think he's right behind. It's right behind profile.
Oh, okay.
Tom Villard.
Right.
If you look, yeah, it's the real tall guy behind him. Nope,
Okay.
it's not him. It's the one next to him.
Okay.
Um, but it's in the back row for sure.
Okay.
After they say surrender's not in our creed louder, Gunny says, "Ooh rah," and of course he kind of is like a disgusted ooh rah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, he's overwhelmed with motivation.
Now they're out here for a PT, right? And so
Yeah.
they're all wearing matching shorts. We talked about it before. They all got their sneaks on. They're all wearing different T-shirts, of course. Gunny is out for a goddamn boots and utes run.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a special breed of Marine. Those boots and utes runs, man. Oh,
They're not good on your feet.
no, they're not, man. We went on the you remember that one lieutenant that we had that was, former Bob Disposal?
Yes.
Yeah, he was touched.
Yeah.
He when they had that dining in for us and they fed us all this alcohol, it was like in the middle of the week, we had to dress up, it was a late night, and we show up to work all hungover, and we find
Yeah.
out that, yeah, mandatory boots and utes run in the
Yep.
middle of summer in North Carolina. Fuck
Right.
those
And
people.
yeah, it's like because they what it was it was a NCO mess night that this our
Mm,
the sergeant major that we had for a while tried to do stuff like that for us, and it was a corporal and sergeant only mess night. We all got in our service alphas and got together. It was a fun time. It was a good time.
Yeah, it
Like
was
I said,
fun.
drink a lot, do all this, and then yeah, let's the next day let's go for a boots and utes run. Thanks a lot, buddy.
Yeah, with flax and Kevlars.
Yeah, I'm sure
Yeah.
they knew he planned it that way,
Oh,
knowing
fuck
full
that.
well that we were all gonna go and have a good time.
Yeah, it was mandatory, so it was like there was no getting out of it.
Yeah.
Oh well.
I did like the, we've done a couple boots and utes runs, but we didn't have to do too many where we were, but, I like
No.
doing them in, we did a couple in boot camp, and I remember the photographer was there while we were doing ours because it's towards the end, and they take the photos for the, like, basically your yearbook, your if you wanted to buy the yearbook.
Yeah.
And I remember catching them and and I looked at that yearbook thing, because I bought it, it's like for your graduating platoons
Yeah,
and
I
all
got mine
that.
too. Yep.
Yeah, and most of it's like generic 19 seriously, actually, most of the photos are probably from this era.
Yeah. Yeah. Like the first half of the book is all just random dudes that they're just gonna get reprinted over and over and over again.
Right, from the '80s, easily.
Yep. Easily.
Easily early '80s. And then, of course, they got your platoon stuff in the back, but anyways, they're in those damn boots and utes. There's like 3 photos of mine, and you could clearly see me. I'm on the end, and I'm just looking at the camera. I'm like, "Oh, there I am again."
Yeah.
So, anyways, but they were fun runs, but they're not fun on your feet.
No.
Of course, I say they're fun because I didn't have to do them that often.
No, man, they were sometimes they were fun, not after, you don't sweat at all
Right, right,
because 'cause you're dehydrated and
right.
hungover.
What I like about Gunny's outfit here is he's got the green, and when I don't know, because you went to boot camp about a year after me,
Um,
give
I
or take
went
10 months,
July '96.
and I was August '95, so about a year.
Oh, wow.
They issued us those brown T-shirts underneath, not the green.
Shit, I'm trying to remember. I think I had some of each, but I think I was green.
Yeah, later I got green, and of course we had our actually you designed a T-shirt
Oh,
for us.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you
The
painted a big mural that was our like, um,
our logo, our little wizard logo,
yeah, yeah, like
little
our logo.
mascot.
Yeah, a mascot. That's the word I was looking for. A mascot for our shop, and you painted it all on one of the walls in our shop, and it was really cool. And then they made a T-shirt out of it, and we
Yep.
put on the green, and we had our little, whatever, blah blah blah. Because we used to
Just
have our old logo before you got there was Gumby, and it was Semper Gumby, always flexible.
yeah.
And then you created that wizard with, like, all the tech stuff. It was really cool. And then, yeah, they turned it into a T-shirt, and it was on green, and of course I like that. And after a while I had a couple of the green undershirts like that, but for the longest time it was all brown. We all had brown. And I'm like, this is I hated it. I thought it was
Yeah.
a terrible look, but
Yeah.
whatever. Like, why haven't we got the green? But uniforms change. I mean, they just change over time. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I kinda feel robbed that we didn't get those Marpet digital camis. Those, the desert ones I really like. I'm not so sure about the woodlands, but, I mean
Yeah, we've talked about that before. I definitely do not like the woodlands like that. The desert is okay. It's more suited for the desert, I think. It's just
yeah.
all just personal opinion. I don't like them. I like I like these. I like what Gunny's wearing,
Yeah.
which is what we wore.
Yep.
That's what I like. Although this is totally off subject now,
Mm.
but I've seen that the Army is in the midst of redesigning their, like, dress uniforms, and they're making them look more like the World War II era, and I think that's outstanding. I think that it makes them
I've heard about
stand
that.
out.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
heard
I
about
don't
that.
know if it's, like, when it's taking place, if it's been approved, but I've seen the mock-ups of them and the people
Mhm.
modeling them, and I'm like, "This makes them stand out, and this is totally what they should do." It's probably because Captain America was such a big hit. They want everybody to look like Bucky?
Yeah.
But seriously, I'm like, that's such a better look, and it distinguishes them from just green,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
poor attempt at a blue dress uniform.
Yeah.
It's like this brownish, greenish, dark, dress jacket, and it looks just like the World War II stuff. I think that's great. I hope that's something they're gonna do, but this has been Fashion Talk.
Yeah, that's funny. There you go. See, there you go. So, yeah, that's funny. That was funny.
It's funny. It's not funny. Um, well, the minute basically ends when Gunny walks up to the Marine with the aviator sunglasses on, who he takes his shirt off and puts his sunglasses back on and is yawning. So Gunny comes up and asks what his name is,
Yeah.
and I think that's a good end of the minute because we can find out more about him next minute. It's a nice little teaser cliffhanger for Friday's episode.
Hey, quick question. Does he wear his those same sunglasses when he met him in the the pool hall area?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think he's had his
Yeah.
sunglasses even when they were in the dark Quonset huts when Stitch was getting his ear ripped out.
Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He had them on the whole time.
Yeah, because he's just too cool.
Yeah. Look, hey, when you're cool, the sun shines on you 24 hours a day.
Yeah. I think Gunny's about to take them glasses off and shove them right up his ass.
It could be. Well, what
Could
do you
be.
say? What do you say we end this minute and find out if you're right?
Yeah, let's do that.
All right. Well, remember, Perry, surrender is not in our creed.
Surrender's not in our creed.
Louder. The next time you podcast, you'll be collecting your pension. No, I'm fucking serious. Say it.
Oh, oh, is it okay? Is it my turn now? Surrender's not in our creed.
Hoorah.
I just got the douche chills.
We did a little bit of business there. Gunny's out for the goddamn boots